Hey guys, Loman02, currently getting ready to play a game of 100 cards singleton. I'll be playing with Esper Miracles. This hand's a keeper, playing against Bandit Keith, so generally a habitual red deck wins player. The hand does lack white mana, which limits the Enlightened Tutor. This hand can get Vidalcan Shackles though. Post-board we have a pretty nasty game plan if he is playing the mono red deck, or red deck wins. Yeah, hand's good enough, especially on the play. I do have two top tutors, which does limit the card advantage the hand can accrue. I think I am going to just go for Preordain on the first turn as opposed to Mystical Tutoring for something. I think I'm going to try to save Mystical Tutor for an Entreat. Because Remand does kind of help enable Entreat. It just really depends on how much time we have in the game to set it up. I mean, top tutors are very powerful, obviously, because they generally allow for near perfect selection, and they, well, at least Mystical sets up miracles very well. It actually weaponizes the tutor when you're able to get miracles. I think we bottom both these actually, because we're kind of looking for white mana. All right, Merchant Scroll, another tutor. Well, I don't think I wanted a third tutor. I really wanted white mana there, but we should be closer at this point. Turn one, creature would be pretty good for them. Okay, it's a Monastery Swiftspear, one of the better creature cards they could find. Alright, well, that's not great. Just going to pass it here. Look to remand whatever they play and really hope to hit white mana here. Could also Mystical Tutor for, like, something very simple like a Brainstorm. I mean, at this point, it would probably be a Ponder. Let's see what they do. If they just attack for one, then I may do that. If they try to cast a spell, I probably will remand here. And look to Merchant Scroll on my next turn. Okay, well now any white mana is going to put me in pretty good stead, because I can just Terminus the board with the Mystical as well. I'm going to actually remand this. I know they're going to be able to recast it, which is not the best. There you go. That's why. That's why you do that. Okay, Rakdos Cackler as well. So I'm going to take one this turn, and then my opponent is likely... Yeah, they have many one-drops. So his hand's very fast at the cost of long-range power, but I am kind of keeping some of the damage off of myself. Yeah, I think here, I just play this tapped and say, hey, go. And I really hope they do not have, a Wasteland. I can prohibit most things. Now, if they do two more one-drops, I'd be, yeah, this is fine. I think I am going to prohibit this. This represents 4 damage right now. It's 1 mana for 4 damage, so I'm going to take 4 regardless. Beside you? Interesting card. Alright, Mystical Tutor for Terminus. Just going to Merchant Scroll here. Not really sure what I'm going to get. Could be Sphinx's Rev. Could be Absorb. Could just be Opt. Or it could be Dig Through Time. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we'll see what our opponent's follow-up is. I mean, they did a decent chunk of damage. Hoping I have a little bit of time here. That's a lot of mana. Okay, pyrostatic pillar. We're at 14, they're at many. Yeah, I kind of want to see what they do. Call me crazy. Because pyrostatic pillar is just as much a clock on them as it is on me. Goblin sharpshooter's not that big of a deal. I'd actually prefer not to get those two spells in case I find Snapcaster. Absorb seems good. And I suppose Condescend. Okay. Would like to get an untap before I do this. I'd like to leave Absorb up after I remove the pyrostatic pillar. Getting attacked for 1 does not seem like it's that big of a deal. Alright, Reckless at charge. Okay. Okay. Yep, always yield. I'm going to get rid of this now. I could have just wanted to go for the Gideon here. You know, maybe the Gideon was more correct. Although I couldn't leave up both here. The Absorb and the Gideon, that is. And I kind of want to get Shackles online, I think. He has to have a creature die to untap this thing. So, I mean, like, he kind of goes in for a one-shot here. Yeah, I'll play this game. If he has a better one, it's not a bad one. Alright, I'll force all of these little nonsenses to attack me. Or attack my Gideon, or rather. And the big question is, do we go for a Serum Visions here? I think I'm going to. Okay, well, I actually would like to hit that land. So I'm going to go land plus Counterspell on top of that. I don't think the Complicate's going to be as good as it would be in the earlier game. And if anything drastically changes, yeah, this is going at Gideon, so at least get his creatures off my back. If anything drastically changes, I can, you know, get rid of it with a shuffle off of the Myriad landscape. Yeah, I'm going to attack. mean, Gideon is a decent clock. Is it like a fireball or something? Okay. I mean, that puts them to dead from the Gideon next turn, so they have to kill me right now. Alright, I take this for a sign of weakness. I'm going to go for the Gusto here, find the Shackles, and just take this Foundry Street Denizen and go for the lethal swing. I guess I could have just gone for an Oblivion Ring. Actually, yeah, going for Oblivion Ring would have been more correct than this because it allows me to leave more up. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess Shackle is a long-term better play. Alright, Copar, Warmth, Chill, Flash Freeze, all of this nonsense, this thing. Yeah, this deck obviously sideboards the hell out of its matchup against this deck. This should not be a good matchup. I don't like Condescend in this matchup. I don't like Wrath of God. I don't like Supreme Verdict. Engineered Explosives is meh. What else don't I like? Portent is kind of slow. I actually don't like Exclude in this matchup. I'm going to cut one of the Jaces. Possibly two is right, though. They're not a bad way to win, though. I should put Karn in just to try him, even though I know he's not good in this matchup. Probably get rid of one Detention Sphere. Search for his Contest probably too slow. Oh, Dismiss is too slow. As much as odd as it sounds, I don't actually like Vidalcan Shackles in this matchup. I think it's too slow. Yeah, maybe we cut the Jaces out. I know we're going very low on win cons. We have the Gideon, we have the Batterskull, we have the Elspeth, and we have the combo in Entreat the Angels. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we just have to find ways to totally, utterly, like, the way this deck functions against red deck wins, it just stops them. It goes prison mode against them. And it's able to do so because it reserves so much board space. Alright, this hand has no power hosers, but it has a good answer to a turn 2 play, and it transitions well into stopping a turn 3 play. So if he has a turn 1 Goblin Guide, that's good for him. If he does not, well, okay, that's perfect. I really don't mind getting shocked the first turn. It's very aggressive because you're not putting anything down or investing in a threat. So I'm happy with that line of play, considering I have Snare plus Miscalc plus Complicate. Sparksmith is really not a problem card for this matchup, because I run so few creatures, but I think just for purposes of tempo, it's proper to counter that spell. And go ahead. We're going to be countering a lot of spells. Now we need to draw some action. This is for sure, but we can stop a lot of spells with this hand. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a gamble here and just counter this thing. And if he has another 1-drop, great. If his hand is mono 1-drops, that is cool by me. Or if he has nothing, that's also cool by me. Alright, just this. And obviously a lot more non-basics than we would generally tend to like in this matchup. Yeah, I'm just going to keep on countering these silly things. I mean, I know they're 1-drops, but I think he's ripping them off the top. Yeah, it's going on top. And I'm hoping he draws like a 3-drop this next turn. Tap land into play. Again, I really don't like all these non-basics, but I got to play land drops every turn with this deck. Hopefully he goes for a 3-drop here and I'm able to complicate him. That is always an epic level play. It's one of the... I think Complicate in this format, specifically, I don't think in any other format, but in this one, I think it's actually one of the top-tier options for counter magic. the card is just very potent. Like, if you get the opportunity to use it in like a tempo-based match like this, where your ability to interact along a curve is very important, it can just grind so much value. Now my opponent's going to do nothing, it would seem. What do they keep in their hand? Oh, opt. Put on top. Land. Nice. I mean, the non-basic count is through the roof, but so is my counter magic count. I don't feel a need to rush the Sphinx's rev here. I'll wait until they do something fairly aggressive and then probably try to resolve it. Alright, their hand is an enigma to me because they were missing on lands but not playing things, and now they've hit lands and they're still not playing things. So it's probably all burn. I mean, they had to top deck the Arsonist and the Raider, because you don't play Shock turn 1 if you have one of those two cards. I don't think, unless... I mean, I don't. I'm going to memory lapse this thing just to buy some more time. And if I get very lucky, they'll have another 1-drop. I'm just going to pop this for an island. I have an Oblivion Ring if that thing becomes a real problem. I'm just going to get basics here because I'm already taking 10 damage off of back to basics if they can resolve it. We know they're drawing the Volshock again. Not the Volshock, whatever that thing's called. The we'll see it in a second. The Pinger. It is the Volshock Sorcerer. I'm going to say Volshock Refugee. If I really have to get rid of that, like I said, I can always just cast an Oblivion Ring and take care of it. But I think it's more imperative at this point that I'm in a sizable enough mana situation. I need to draw into more action. This is 5 cards back up to 7, 8 on draw step. Probably good game. Yeah. And amazingly, no lands. Well, there's a land draw. Yeah, I'll Serum Visions here. Probably should have played the land before Serum Visions. That was wrong. I will top the island and the Swords of Plowshares, I think. Like I said, I think I still want to make land drops here. And I have enough dig in the deck that I'm not too concerned about missing. You know, oddly enough, I don't think this card's powerful, but I'm going to get rid of it right now. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have saved it and kept the Swords to Plowshares or something else. Alright, Bogarten, a Ram Gang. Yeah, no thanks. Tap out, tap out. Thank you. I don't know why. It always feels so good to me to do this. It's 2 for 1 value. That's probably why it feels so great. Well, this could be said about this hand. This hand does not have a lot of action going on. It has a lot of nonsense going on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, in retrospect, it was wrong to top that island with Serum Visions. Would enjoy being 1 card deeper at this point. I'm going to take the Plink off this thing. I don't think it's going to be consequential. I think I'd prefer to save options on the Swords to Plowshares. Well, where's that? There's a win con. There's what we were looking for. A way to close the game out. This is probably good night. unless they have like Anarchy. But this is generally a game over card. One of the spookiest, in my opinion, this format, like one of the spookiest 6-drops. Like this Primeval Titan tend to be enders of the game. Yeah, okay. You want to damage my Elspeth with it? You want to damage me with it? Interesting. Okay, well, that's fine by me. That card does not get any better, so I mean, I guess I might as well pop it off. Yeah, that creature's controller, so I'd actually have to retest this card. It may not be able to damage planeswalkers anymore. It says creature's controller, which means that it would have to be, it's not, yeah, it have to be directed at the planeswalker, that's correct, so it can't damage it. Okay. Can gut shot that thing. Okay. Get rid of the Mancer here. Probably concession worthy. Didn't even really hit hate this game. I think just, hit a good on-curve, permission sequence up through turn 4 and was kind of able to transition to the mid-game pretty smoothly. I think that's what allowed us to win. Do I care about this? No. I actually don't. Yeah, you are probably out of gas here. Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter if the thing's at 2. Like, I'll eventually win. Like, you got 3 counter spells. I'm going to be making an army of 1/1s that'll eventually overpower him. I'm at 19 life. I have an Oblivion Ring for something I don't want to counter. 3 counter spells. Probably going to get there. But who knows? Who knows? I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was Esper Miracles versus Red Deck Wins. A couple things that I don't like in his build of the deck. I'm not a fan of Gut Shot. This is obviously more of a Goblins or permanent attack-based deck. So it's probably wrong of me to take out the 2 of the Wraths. Although, well, I left Mode in, which is probably good enough. Generally, I don't like the Wraths in this matchup because the creatures in red tend to just be, like, basically extensions of their burn. Like, they use it for 2 turns and they don't really care. It doesn't impact their game plan if it dies after 2 turns of hitting you. So, it may have been right to leave it in because there's just a lot more of them. The shot turn 1 was pretty ambitious, though. I guess their draw had to have been like Arsonist into Mog Raider, because I can't fathom why you would ever not play a 1-drop attacking creature as opposed to playing a 1-mana instant that just does 2 damage. But I don't know. So cool games. We did not see our hate, our sideboard, or complete utter sideboard hate. But like I said, I think if you can. Even if you don't per se have the white mana, which I think is generally crucial to beating this matchup or beating most aggressive matchups, is having white mana. If you have a good on-curve permission, you can generally tend to transition pretty well and eventually find your way with some decent dig in the deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed that 100-card singleton game between Red Deck Wins and Blue-White Miracles. Kind of an iconic matchup in the format. One that's generally touted. I think UI Control, used to have more problems with the Red Deck Wins deck. But I think now it's actually probably one of the better decks. Like, I think it's one of the more... I think UIB Miracles is probably up there as one of the best decks in the format. 4CB I think is certainly very good. I think there are some very good, like, Sultai Oath Loam builds. I think White Weenie's probably the best aggro deck. And then Blue Red Moon's also extremely good. So it's hard telling. I mean, I think there is a Loam style deck that probably beats the Blue White Miracles deck regularly, just because of the extensive value. But then again, I mean, pretty iconic, two iconic decks in the format. Their build, I think, a little more suboptimal. There's some cards there I don't like Gut Shot I think's bad. But most of the cards seem pretty decent. Just more of a high permanent, like Goblin style build. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and take care now.